Hey, Rusty. Hey, Rusty. Today's paint video will be considerably shorter because I'm almost finished. And I apologize that last night's part 2 was so long and kind of goofy, but it was it was okay. I mean, it was funny for me, but so here we are now today. The difference is that we have sunlight. The side windows are open, curtains are open. But I'm going to show you something up close here. Let's go down. I want you to see what it looks like now. Now remember, there were 2 coats of the dark green, and then a splatter of the darker green, and then an overcoat of both. So there were 4 coats. Just to come in close here now, I want you to see that there are white spots. Oh, I'm in the shadow here. See the white spots popping through? And that's part of the plan. But as I walk around here, I see that it's actually relatively even. My fear last night was that I had a kind of blotch here behind this lamp. In a minute, I'm going to take that lamp out and we'll look at it without that bright light there. Okay, so that's what I have now. Okay, now stepping back again to repeat the view, I have taken the lamp away. And what I see is that the area of the lamp isn't as dark as I thought it was. There is a bad kind of application there where kind of behind it. And then above, there's a dark spot. Now, to be honest, that doesn't show up that much to me with the light on. But as I back up here, I see that while there is a kind of smear cloud, I don't like that. I like it to be more bumpy. A smear cloud behind where the lamp was. But the worst part is up here where there's a concentration of dark. Am I going to fix this? Well, no. Because the next step I do is going to overcoat all of this with one single coat of very watered down darkest green. It's almost brown. But I'm going to try that. If that doesn't work, I can always fix. But right now, it's not so bad. Remember that this is sunlight, and I don't normally I'm not a sunlight person. I have the curtains open some, but it's awfully bright because the window's really big. And it's kind of halfway closed most of the day. And at night, there's always a lamp here. Well, there's a lamp on all day. And that lamp actually softens the effect of the mistakes. Yeah, I would call them mistakes. It's just a poor application, and I'm going to blame it on being kind of nighttime. And so that's that. Let's stop right now, and I'll show you what I'm going to do next. Welcome back to Paint That Wall Part 3. Aren't you excited? I'm excited. I'm glad that you're watching, and I hope I don't disappoint you. I had a lot of fun with Part 2. I hope you did too. I'm sorry it was like too long. Hey, I wanted to cover something. Backtrack just a little. One of my pet peeves is when people say, I'm going to explain how this works, and you can do either this or this. And what they do is they describe this and totally forget the other half of their comparison thing. And I did that yesterday. You might have noticed it. I was talking about the rollers. Let me move my coffee. By the way, this is a Veracruz coffee called Portales. Now,
Where do I start? There's two or three things I wanted to cover. Was telling you that I first started this project using a heavy nap roller. And when I was telling you this, I did not have this in my hand. I had this one in my hand because I forgot to bring it in. And I thought I would complete the story by completing the story. A heavy nap will allow you some versatility. The primary reason we use this is, and you know this already if you've painted some, this heavier nap primarily is a benefit if you have a rough wall, like a textured wall like I have. Even then, you will not have easy coverage. You're going to have to work a little at it, but the benefit is you can take a lot of paint to the wall, and it just has better coverage. Now, you can also benefit with this kind of roller if you have smooth walls, and the benefit is you can take more paint to the wall. You can dip in, get a good solid saturation, and really cover a bunch of area. There's a third reason. Nope, there's no third reason. But then, I used this thinner nap roller. You can tell they started out white. But this benefit is that you have less paint. You can more easily control this textured effect that I'm using. Although that's not the only reason people would use this. I mean, you can use this all the time. But it's very, very thin. You can see that. So I used that for that purpose. Now, today, I'm going to use this again. This would be too heavy, bringing too much paint. I'm not going to use a lot of paint today in this application. What else was I going to say? Oh, kind of funny. I just now posted last night's video on Facebook and on YouTube. Darn it, I'm uncomfortable here, this rug. What I was going to tell you is this. I gotta sneeze. I noticed when I posted this video today that there is a copyright strike. Now, a copyright strike for us YouTubers is anytime we use a music that is not our own, it's copyrighted. And most artists don't care. However, the owner of the song, say Sony Music or whatever, they're going to see that as an opportunity to put in an ad. They'll let you use it, but they'll put in some sort of advertisement. And I noticed, and I remembered, yes, last night's video. Oh, sorry. Last night's video, I showed you the snack I was eating, and even mentioned its name. And what else? The brand of the paint I was using. And then there was a third thing. What was it? I think there were three. So in that video, you're probably going to see ads pop up. It annoys me a little, not so much that I resent them advertising, although it does interrupt the flow for you watching, but it just bugs me that it's such a petty thing. I'm not monetized. I don't make any money off of my channel. I don't have enough subscribers. So it irks me a little. Now, another thing, the paint I'm using is this palette here. I don't know if you can even see it. I'm going to hope so. And I am using the third color down here. I love the name of it. It's Pine Brook. My friend Craig, if you're watching, do you remember when you did a little paint project years ago and you you chose a color called Puppy Paws just because you like the name of the color. It turned out to be a good color, of course, but we had a little laugh over that. So anyway, anyway, this is the color that I used for the first two coats, and then I used this last night in my spotty effect. And then I went over it again with kind of an overcoat of this. Oh wait, I'm sorry. The fourth coat was a combination of the two. So what am I doing today besides blowing my nose? Hey, I have morning cold symptoms. Is it allergies? Probably, maybe not. I've had it for like all my life. Runny nose. And people always say, oh, what do you have? What's wrong? Oh, salud. You need to see a doctor. No. It's just a runny nose, and I survive. It lasts a half hour. So today, if you remember, I told you my plan was to do the same thing here that I did in my garden, and that was out in the patio, the two colors there. That was a 4-color project in the turquoise and the pink. And I thought probably at this point I would do much the same here. I would use this beige paint. It's kind of a mocha, not chocolate milk by any means, but more of a beige with the brown side of beige, not yellow or pink or yellow, but the brown. And so I thought I'm going to use that technique here to create one last kind of overcoat and make it look softer. It softens the color, and it also makes it look a little antique-y, kind of washed out. But in this case, that would be the wrong direction because I want this to be darker. The effect worked nice out there, but here I really want this to be a darker tint, darker yet than it is. So I'm going to do the same watered down effect, watered down application, but I'm going to use this darkest green, this darkest color, and I'm going to go for like a soupy mix. I'm going to say 10% paint. We'll see. That won't affect me a whole lot, but it might be just enough. So let's try it. I'll get my gear together here and my stuff and finish my coffee. I also have French fries on the stove. I'll be right back. Well, a little change of plan. Is that okay? I got a telepathic message from one of you, and you know who you are, who told me that the best roller would be the heavier one. And I'm going to go with that. Now, the next step here... Oh, great. I need something. Be right back. I forgot that I would need a little brush for this phase of the project. I'm trying to decide what is the right ratio of paint to water. And I have decided that I will use just the bottom of this. That's quite a bit. That's more than a dab if you were paying attention last night. So let's put this here. And that there. I don't need that for now. By the way, I always have a collection of disposable brushes. Of course, this is latex. It can be cleaned pretty easy, but I still throw away a lot of brushes. So here I have kind of the bottom part, not even a ½ inch. And now I'm going to add a good deal of water. Now, I have to kind of pay attention to this so that if I later need to redo this recipe, I will remember what it was. So to that paint, I'm going to fill all of the tray bottom, just to this part here. So that's a lot of water, a little more. just so I can remember later. Now I'm going to use this to kind of stir that up. This is going to be the same color, only really, really thin. And while I'm doing this, can I review with you what I told you once before? Do you remember the part about dark colors covering white, or white covering dark colors? And you know why one works and one doesn't? Well, it all has to do with pigment, the amount of pigment required to accept the color, the dark color. And I said that backwards. Actually, in order for paint to accept all that color, it needs to have less pigment. Now, by adding water, we're further diluting that recipe. And I think I've made a mistake here. I have way too much paint. So I'm going to put in all of this. This will raise the level of water all the way to the, not to the top, you probably can't see it, but it covers the bottom part of the tray, the pan. I wish I had a little better stirring. Ideally, you would do this not on a table, and you wouldn't do it in an open pan like this. You might do it in a container or a bucket, and that way you could really nicely mix in all the water for a nice even mix. This might end up being super dark, and I wanted it to be watery. So I have a rag here. I might end up experimenting in the first minute or two of this next step. I'll know if this is going to work. Because I have a kind of rich mixture, I might consider rubbing it down with a towel or a rag. That's okay. That's acceptable. All right, so now, boy, let's put this. You can do this. It's a lot of green. Oh my. A lot of green. So let's do this. I'm going to turn this around since I'm right-handed. I need that to be here. I'm going to give myself a little coating of that, and we'll see how it goes. I'm going to try to spread this a long ways. You see it's really drippy, and that's not a good thing, but that's the way it is. It's water dripping out. Here, I might do this. Oh no, that's not good. I just get back into the paint more. This is all an experiment for me. I hope that if anything, nothing else, at least you are brave in your next paint project and understand that sometimes good results don't come out of experience, but just good luck and courage. That's what I'm counting on today. That's drippy, so I'm going to hope that I will move this over here in a minute. Right now, let's try putting a little on. And it's going to splatter like crazy. It's going to drip. It's running down the wall, which is okay. I'm going to do this much without the ladder and come back later and do above and around and below. I'm going to experiment here first to try to do sort of a 90% coverage. If I miss a spot here and there, I'm gonna be fine with that. And remember, last night when we did this color, it looked really horrible. It had kind of a weird, dirty look, dirty color. And then as it dried, that all kind of neutralized and it looked much nicer. And especially later with the blend of colors. So I'm sensing that this is going to be kind of wet. There it goes, drippy, drippy. I don't know, gotta be careful it's not touching the ceiling. Yeah, it's dripping. Now, that might be wise of me to consider a wipe down, but no, I'm not going to do it. Now, also, I am going to be prepared to paint this or to roll this twice. And it's going to be important that I go quite a ways up here. It is noticeable that I didn't do that. All right, so I'll turn my ladder around here in a minute and get that corner better. Okay, I'm going to continue though with the camera turned off. You don't need to sit through all of this. Oh, hang on, I'll be back soon. I'm back. However, I don't have my coffee. Oh. I think the ultimate test of faith is when, within a minute of finishing your project, you pull up the drop cloth. Either that or it's a mess. Yeah, I had a drop cloth full of drippy water paint. And that's the problem too with these, well, any roller, but especially these thick ones. They're going to take on a lot of your paint, but then it's going to want to drip out immediately. You know, I don't care how you hold it. I've been doing this a long time, and dripping paint, you know the story, you've done it. It's that way with regular paint. And then you get to the wall, and you start to go up, and it drips out because you're pressing on this. So there's no perfect way to do this messy job. As a result, then I had a lot of paint on the plastic sheet here, and I was tracking it around, and then I found out I had a huge puddle over here and 3 puddles over there. But they come up easy because it's a water-based paint, and this is a tile floor. In fact, a couple of those were pretty dry by the time I got to it, and it just kind of scrubs off. My tile is glazed, smooth ceramic tile. That wouldn't be the case if you had, say, a clay tile or a fancy old-fashioned Spanish tile. It might be more risky. But with this, I don't really need to worry a lot. What else? I don't know if this wall is going to look the way I intended. It might look better. It's dark, and I wanted that. I wanted the accent to be on the darkest color. As it happens, though, getting this darker color right sort of obscured my lighter color, which I thought would be more pronounced. I wanted it more blotchy. I didn't want it to look like a mistake, but I wanted it to look like it had 2 colors, 3 even. if that doesn't work out, I'm going to think about it a while, and I might then do another application, a little bit of a hand, don't say it, application by hand. And yeah, that would be probably not going to happen. I tend to be quickly satisfied with it. I can accept less than perfect. I don't even know what that was when I started. So whatever it is better than what I started out with. And right now I have shut the curtains almost entirely so that I'm not in the blinding light, but also because I wanted you to see how this would look more in a natural way. It's wet, which means it's not quite right. I'm going to put the furniture back and set the lamp, and we'll see how it looks then. Maybe wait a half hour, 2 hours or so, and come back. We'll chat later. Thanks. See you soon. And there's my Rusty. That's Rusty. He is about 20% Mexicano, like me. I might be a little bit more. Lately I've been gaining a few points, a few more Mexicano points. So that's all I'm going to say about that. Hi, I'm back. I promised I would be back, and I promised I would finish this wall. I think it's finished. I had a kind of messy ending. Oops. Well, and so I cleaned up the lots of dribbled green paint. It's going to come out of your roller anyway. If you've painted much with a roller, you know that it builds up somehow, even normal paint, and this is really wet. So, so what do you think? What am I going to tell? What am I here for? It's done. That's it. There's nothing more to say. Oh, I had to kind of do the edges again, the top and that side with a darker color because the whole effect now is darker. Right now it's still, it's been an hour at least since I finished, and so it's probably a little darker and drier, mostly dry, yeah. But I wish that you could see it the way I see it. Now you're looking at it on YouTube, which is uploaded from the video file I make on my camera. And so you're not going to see much detail probably. I wish it was better. Actually, I'm really happy with it. And I think both day and night I'm going to have a nice effect. You know, these kinds of things take on a new life at night. However, I tend to keep this lamp on all day. So that's the way it will look. And right now the big window behind you is closed. I have white curtains that let in a lot of light, but for now, well, I did that just to soften the effect for the camera. But I'm out the door now. I'm headed to lunch at the flea market that I go to every Friday. Flea market in Spanish is a tianguis, which is a market-like place, but it's not permanent. They set up on a street that's divided, a little boulevard in the middle, and I think it's about 5 blocks long. And everybody has their own little kind of tarp over, and there's lots of eating places, what we call outside food, street food. But I like a little place that's open all the time. I only go there on Friday, though. The senora and the lady and her 3 daughters, I call it, I don't know if they're even related, but they have that look. And it is in their house. Anyway, I go there and they recognize me. I'm recognizable, yes. And so I like to go there. I don't always have lunch with them on Friday, sometimes other places. Tomorrow I will go to another tianguis a ways over that's humongous. Kind of excited about that. I was there last week with my friend Luis. So anyway, that's that. And anyway, I hope that this looks... I just hope it works, because I'm tired of doing it. Aren't you tired of watching me do it? Yeah, thanks for watching. See you later. Bye. Well, this is the green wall from a distance. This is from the entryway. I think it's okay. I'm going to be
satisfied with it for now. That's not much to see. It's just a green wall, and I like it okay. Let's come in a little closer, if I don't fall down. I think you can see the texture in there. I don't know. It's more or less uniform. That was my intention, but I can live with it being a little out of perfect. What do you think? I guess that's gonna have to be good enough, because I'm done. I'm tired. I'm dirty. I'm messy. I have paint everywhere.